Everyone gets stressed out sometimes, but when it starts to affect our health and our physical appearance, that's when it can require a little extra attention. Other than just saying, let it go, here this morning with some serious expert advice, dermatologist Dr. Carolyn Jacob. And of course, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. You have seen a little bit of everything as you try to treat some of your patients, but let's talk about the physical signs of stress.
So one of the main things we see happen when people are stressed is that they get more oil production. So the actual stress leads to more oil, which plugs up your pores, and that leads to more acne breakouts. And in addition, when you're stressed out, you eat more sugary foods and you know, cookies and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
That also increases oil production. So what we do as dermatologists is try to give you medications to decrease the oil production and to control the bacteria that causes the acne. Some of the ingredients that one can use include salicylic acid and glycolic acid, which are found in this Ice Clinical Cleanser. And then vitamin A derivatives such as retinol and tretinoin can also be very, very helpful in treating acne.
It's amazing because when we talk about acne, you think, I didn't have it when I was a teenager, but stress can actually just cause those pimples to pop.
Changes in hormones, stress, etc., all of those things can add to oil production, which then leads to the acne in susceptible patients.
Okay, and say it ain't so, but frown lines as well?
So when you're very stressed out, people often tend to knit their brows together, and repeated knitting of your brows will lead to these little lines that are frown lines. And the way we can, as dermatologists, relax these lines for you is to use a purified botulinum toxin product known as Xeomin.
Yes.
This is something that you have treated to you by your dermatologist or plastic surgeon. You want to find a board-certified physician who's properly trained to see if you're a candidate. But when you relax those lines...
So those frown lines here, those frown lines here. Oh.
Mainly the ones between the brows.
Okay.
When you relax the muscles, then you won't have those lines and you look less stressed. Studies also show that people feel happier and feel less stressed when they've had these treatments done.
Okay, doctor, another physical sign of stress. Hair falling out. Every woman dreads that. And men too.
Lots of reasons for hair loss, but one of them can be stress. Stressful situations such as a death in the family, changes in jobs, renovating your house, that sort of thing can lead to a shift in the hairs to the resting phase known as telogen effluvium. But we as dermatologists, it's our job to test a battery of lab results to make sure that you don't have other reasons for hair loss, and then afterwards we can treat you with either supplementation, some medications, and possibly some stress reduction to try to relieve that shift into the telogen effluvium shedding phase.
And Dr. Jacob, while we talk about, of course, the physical signs that we see on our face or on our hair, you can experience some irritation, some redness, some soreness all over your body.
You can, and of course eczema gets worse in the wintertime.
Yes.
Also, people who have rosacea tend to flush and blush more often, and so they can get more redness. We can treat that with lasers. There's also creams that can also help to decrease the redness, and there's medication that you can take orally prescribed by your dermatologist that can help with redness. And the last thing that happens a lot of times when you're stressed, you sweat more.
You sure do. You're like, ooh, ooh.
Being under the hot lights doesn't help either. But when you sweat more, there's medications that we can give you to control that. Some people have really severe sweating known as hyperhidrosis of their underarms, and there's actually a treatment known as Miradry that can effectively permanently reduce that sweating for patients that suffer from it. So we have lots of treatments.
Information, lots of treatments. If people at home want more information on what to do when they're going through a stressful time. Your web address?
Oh, chicagodermatology.com. We have lots of information for you. Absolutely.
Good deal. Dermatologist and Dr. Carolyn Jacob, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it. It is just about 9:30. Still ahead on Good Day Chicago. We will tell you why bad news for the oil industry is about to turn into good news for us, the drivers. Also this morning.